on your whiteboard, please tell me what is the name of the two teams of the Persian Wars, and put a star next to the winner. Who are the two teams of the Persian Wars? And tell me the winner. Star next to the winner. Good. Who is it? Maggie. Greece versus Persia. And who wins? Greece wins. On your whiteboard, was the final battle of the Persian War? Good. Jared. Marathon. On your whiteboard, please tell me what is the name of the polytheistic religion of Persia? Good. Sterling. Zoroastrianism. Zoroastrianism is important because it lays the foundation for what future monotheistic religion? Good. What is it? Sam. Islam. On your whiteboard, please tell me what is the name of the Greek Empire that is known as the Golden Age of Greece. Everything you know about Greece happens then. What is it called? Good. I got 2, 3. Good. Evan.
The
Mycenaean. On your whiteboard, please tell me what is the name of the gentleman who will cause the decline of the Achaemenid Empire because of his cruelness, and he gets involved in the Persian Wars. Who is it? What do we got? Alexa? Xerxes. Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, some of you are getting rocked on these questions. And as you saw from last week's test, are those the types of questions you're going to see a lot of? No. You're going to see a lot harder questions, correct? So you have to know the baseline information so you can sit there and kind of figure out the tougher questions. So you have a test tomorrow, 25 questions, all multiple choice. It's on Greece, Persia, and Rome, which I'm teaching you today. Hopefully you've already finished your focus and your pieces, yes? Good, I'm glad to hear that. Tomorrow, 25 questions. So this week has been fast, can we agree? A lot of content. We're working all the way through today's class with content for tomorrow's test. So please make sure that you are ready for tomorrow because it is going to come quickly. So, who can raise their hand and tell me where we left off? Where did we leave off, Reagan? Okay, Panhellenic Festivals, perfect. Also known as the what, people? Jared. Also known as the Olympics. Oh, if you have one of these sign sheets, can you pass it to the person in the front of your row, please? Thank you kindly. Okay. While you're doing that, please listen. You shouldn't have to write down that Greece is patriarchal. Is anyone surprised? No. Okay? Greeks are using lots and lots of slaves. None of that should be very surprising to you either. You do need to know that the Greeks are known for their mathematical development. You can't even see anything. Here we go. You need to know that the Greeks are known for their mathematical development. How do you say this? Yeah, Pythagoras. Thank you. Pythagoras, you need to know that he is actually Greek. Be aware that he is Greek. Pardon, thank you kindly. Pardon, thank you kindly. Okay, so he's Greek. You do need to know a couple other Greek major things. You need to know Socrates. He's a Greek thinker. He is known as, he has come up with asking questions about questions to achieve, that's his thing. Socratic method. If you've ever had a teacher, they just ask you questions when you ask them a question. Have you ever had that? It's so annoying. But apparently, Socrates is one of the great teachers of the world, I guess. Okay, then you need to know Plato. Okay, Plato wrote the book, The Republic. You need to be aware of that, please. Okay, he wrote The Republic. If you decide to be a political science major in college, you will absolutely be reading it. It's the foundation of Western thought for political. It's not bad. Wouldn't say it's great either. Aristotle, you need to be aware of him. He is all about reasoning, using evidence to prove your thoughts. Aristotle is all about reasoning and having evidence to prove yourself. Alright, we do have a polytheistic religion. You should know about it. Who's the principal god of the polytheistic religion? Zeus, there you go. That's the only thing you really need to know about it. Okay? They do come up with our plays and stuff, but just be somewhat aware. Alright, perfect. Skip a space, center it. Let's do this. To the Romans, friends. To the Romans. I am hoping you have some background knowledge on some Romans. That's why I waited to the end to do the Romans, because I thought you would have zero background knowledge on Persians. Was that right? I thought you may have a little flirting of background knowledge on Greeks. You should have the most on the Romans, which is why I waited to the end. So, here we go. You need to know that there are 3 aspects to Rome. Write this down. There are 3 aspects to Rome. There are 3 stages. First one is the kingdom. Kingdom, republic, empire. Kingdom, republic, empire. Those are the 3 stages that we'll be discussing. Okay? So, Kingdom of Rome, no, it existed. We don't really care much about it. Let's start with the republic. Okay? Just know that the kingdom existed. We're going to start with the republic. Okay? A republic is going to start with the overthrow of the Etruscan kings. You need to be aware of that. It begins with the overthrowing of the Etruscans. In AP Art History, you're going to study an Etruscan tomb. They're saying like pretty cool people. They party in the tomb before they die. And on the walls, they paint party scenes. How weird. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so what you need to know is in the government they have an executive branch, which has 2 councils. You need to know that. They have an executive branch. So it goes your emperor, 2 councils, senate. Those are your 3 tiers of government. You need to know that it goes emperor, 2 councils, and then a senate. Okay? So 2 councils are 2 of the most important people to guide the emperor. You need to know that. Okay? So a council, 2 councils are 2 of the most important people to guide the emperor. They work one-on-one with the emperor. Anytime the emperor has to make a decision, they're there. The Senate is just like our Senate. How do they get people in the Senate? They vote. They're elected officials from the people. You need to know that. Okay, so the Senate is elected officials. Are they voting for the leadership of Rome, people? No, they're voting for people to influence the emperor of Rome. Is everyone clear on the distinction? They are not electing an emperor ever. Ever, ever. The United States is the only country in the history of the world until in 1776 to in 1783 officially, where we elect our own leader. Is everyone clear? However, the idea of electing influencers is a Roman idea and Greek idea. Okay? So, you need to know that the patricians are your wealthy class. Rome really has 2 classes. You have your patricians, who are your wealthy, and then you have your plebeians, who are your commoners. Now, Rome has had a huge influence on the United States. Our military is based on the military of Rome. All of our ranks of like general, lieutenant, corporal, all of those things are based on Roman words. If you go to a military academy like West Point, Annapolis, all of those places, what do they call freshmen? Plebes. Why do they call them plebes? Because of the Roman term for common poor people. That's why they call them plebes. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, you are going to see that the Roman law allows for dictators to be appointed in times of crisis. You need to be aware of that. During a time of crisis, an emperor can disregard the Senate and do whatever it feels like it needs to. What do you think is a time of crisis, people? War. Guess what the Romans wage all the time? So guess what a lot of emperors do? They declare a state of war, and then they get to do whatever the hell they want. It's kind of like the President of the United States. Okay? A President of the United States can wage war for 90 days without asking for Congress's approval. Now, has any of our presidents in the history of the United States abused that? No, I don't think so personally. But can our President Trump decide to wage war on any country he wants for 90 days without approval? Yes, absolutely. It's kind of a throwback a little bit to this. Okay? Now, you need to know that they are going to expand the Republic to eventually encircle the entire Mediterranean Sea. They're going to encircle the entire Mediterranean Sea. Okay. In order to have a military that can conquer the entire Mediterranean Sea, you need to have a strong military. How they get a strong military is because they offer citizenship to its soldiers. You do need to know that. Their ranks are full of people because they get citizenship when you're enrolled in the Roman military. The United States actually used to offer this as well. It's very new that they're no longer offering it. It used to be, could be a foreigner to the United States, sign up for the United States military, and you could be granted citizenship. However, that is not the case anymore. So, people are signing up for the military in order to gain citizenship to Rome. You need to know the Punic Wars. The Punic Wars are the Romans versus Carthage. You need to know this. Have you ever seen Gladiator? Great movie. If you haven't seen it, it's on like TNT all the damn time. It's always on. If you haven't seen it, you really should. It's a great movie. They talk about the Punic Wars in it. It is Roman versus Carthage. You need to know the Romans win, and after this, they win complete control of the Mediterranean Sea. You need to know that. It's a very big deal. This is the official real kick and the upswing. Okay? So, Punic Wars are Roman versus Carthage. You're going to have a Roman victory, and they are going to control the Mediterranean Sea. Does anyone know how they beat Carthage? It's very famous. It's a terrible, horrible thing they did. They salted the earth of Carthage. They salted it. Why would they salt the earth? It can't grow anything. They literally starved them to death, and really nothing still grows in Carthage today. Yes, that's who the Romans are, people. Okay, you need to know Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar is a transformative figure for numerous reasons. You need to know that he is a general first. And he is a general. Okay, he gets sent to Gaul and wins. G-U-G-A-U-L, Gaul. What is modern-day Gaul today? France. Modern-day France. Now, you don't have to write this down. I'm just giving you a little backstory. So Julius Caesar is kind of as flamboyant as you can be, and is kind of a turd. And he hates the emperor, and the emperor hates him. And he's like, you know what, I'm so sick of Julius Caesar's crap. You know what, we're going to send him to Gaul. So he sends him to Gaul because every time someone goes to Gaul, they die. So the emperor's like, screw it, I'm done with this guy. Let's send him to Gaul. So Julius Caesar knows it's a death march. Okay, he knows the reason he's going there is because everyone dies. So he goes and he wins. He wins. And Julius Caesar and his men, because all the men who were sent with Julius Caesar all know this is also a death march. So they're like, oh my God, we won. And Julius Caesar's, let's show this guy what's up. So Julius Caesar takes all of his men who are now super loyal to him because they beat the people of Gaul. And they march back to Rome and overthrow the emperor. You know, casually. You need to know that. So, after victory in Gaul, they overthrow the emperor. Okay? So, he comes back, overthrows Gaul, overthrows Rome, and becomes emperor for life, or dictator for life. Okay? He names himself dictator for life. You need to know that term. Okay. Okay, so once he's there, there's a couple things you need to know about him. How did he rise up in fame? What's his first real job, people? He was a general. How did he overthrow the emperor? With the military. So his first thing he's going to do is take care of who? Military. So what he starts doing is he redistributes land to soldiers. You need to know that. Okay? So he starts, keep in mind, land is the most, owning land is the only way you can grow wealth over and over again. Okay? That is why here in the United States, especially during Jim Crow era, one of the first things the United States took away from African Americans post-slavery is the ability to Own land. Because if you can own land, you build your own wealth. By limiting people from purchasing land, what do they limit? Their wealth. Okay? So, Julius Caesar gives land to these soldiers so these soldiers can grow wealth. That is how important land is throughout history. So, he's going to redistribute the land. Okay? He's also going to do major building projects to improve lives. Okay? He builds hospitals. He builds bathhouses. He does a lot of things to make people happy. So, do the people love him or hate him? Love him. He is absolutely adored by the people. But who hate him? The government hates him. Keep in mind, he came in. It's like if a rando general from the U.S. military came in and killed Trump, right? We would all be absolutely pissed because that's not how things are done, right? That's not the era of how we do things. We elect, okay? So he just goes rogue and comes in and just kills the emperor. Now, is he the first one to do it? Do you think he's going to be the last? In Rome, it happens pretty frequently. So, he is going to be assassinated by senators on the steps into the Senate. Okay? And they kill him. Why? He's not mean. He's actually a nice guy. Why did they kill him? Yeah, he's messing with the government. He's throwing away he's unshaking the balance of power. All of the people in the Senate, do you think they're patricians or plebeians? Patricians. Do you think the patricians want lots of money going to poor people? Do you think they like giving soldiers who are plebeians money for land, giving them land so they can rise and become eventually patricians? Do you think they like that? No. Hi, you may be surprised to hear this, but wealthy people don't like a lot of change. Why don't you think wealthy people over the history of time don't like a lot of change? They don't want to lose their wealth. And they don't want more people to be as wealthy as they are because then it decreases their value, correct? So, historically, wealthy people don't like too much change. Okay, so, after Julius Caesar is dead, there are about 40 years of chaos. Who is rebelling against the government? The people. Why are the people rebelling against the government at this point? They killed Caesar. They killed him. So we got about 40 years of chaos. Just to give you some perspective, you've all heard of Cleopatra? Yeah. Yeah, you've heard about Mark Antony and all that stuff? How they're having an illustrious affair? Okay. Well, Mark Antony and Cleopatra are making a run to be the next emperor of Rome. Yeah, they get married and they come to Rome and try to become emperor, but then they get both assassinated. You know that? This is all happening at this time, just to give you a little context. You don't care? Okay. All right, so there's about a 40-year gap, and then we have Augustus. Okay? Augustus is your next major person. Augustus, okay, comes into power, and he calls himself Octavian. You need to know him by two names. His name's Augustus, but he goes by Octavian. Now, he calls himself the nephew of Julius Caesar. He ain't. Why does he call himself the nephew of Julius Caesar? Why, Katie?
They really like Caesar.
Yes, they love Julius Caesar. So if he calls himself, okay, if he calls himself the nephew, people are going to like him more, okay? He defeats Mark Antony and Cleopatra. You don't need to know that. I'm just trying to give you a little context, a little color commentary, if you will. Okay? And he comes into power. He also adopts a new title. What is the new title of your Roman emperors? What is he going to call himself? He's going to call himself Caesar. So now the emperor of Rome will now be called Caesar. Hail Caesar, yes? It's because Augustus calls himself Caesar Augustus. Why does he use Caesar Augustus? So people will like him, okay? Because he's coming up in a very dangerous time. Now, now, we're going to put a big star in your notes. A big star of your notes. You're going to write, Julius Caesar is the end of the Republic and the beginning of the empire. He is the transition. Why is he the end of the Republic? Who can raise their hand and tell me why he's the end of the Republic? What does he do, Shannon?
He was dictator for life.
Yeah, he came in and he killed the emperor and said, I'm dictator for life. That's a pretty good way a republic dies. Can we agree? Okay, so Julius Caesar is the transitional figure going from the Roman Republic to the Empire. Once we have the Empire, there is still a Senate, but it has no authority, no power. It just exists. That's it. Okay? So, you need to know that he is going to centralize all of Roman policies, political and military. He strengthens Rome. He is the greatest leader Rome ever saw. Augustus, not Caesar. Caesar's son. Okay? Augustus is the greatest ruler we had. Well, not we. We're not Roman, but okay. Now, under Augustus, he starts the Pax Romana, or Roman peace. Under Augustus, he starts the Pax Romana, which is Roman peace. Okay? Now, Roman peace is the golden age of Rome. This is the golden age. It starts under Augustus, but it goes for like 400 years. Okay? So, obviously, someone asked me last year, well, does that mean he lived till 400? No, he did not live for 400 years. Sorry to surprise you, but he's a mere mortal and he dies. Okay, so Pax Romana, this is when we're going to have everything you think about Rome, this is it. Anytime you think about the massive cities, the aqueducts, all that stuff, this is when it's really happening. Okay, skip a space, I would start a whole new section overall. You need to know that the Roman code, the law code, is called the 12 Tables. Roman codification is called 12 Tables. Okay? And it is going to be spread throughout the Mediterranean basin. Why is it spread throughout the Mediterranean basin? Because the Romans are throughout the entire Mediterranean basin. It makes logical sense. This will be the foundation of Western law, by the way. You need to know that. The 12 Tables is the foundation of Western law. Okay, a couple other things. So we have the 12 Tables spread throughout. You need to know it's the codification system, it's law codes. Okay? You need to know that the Romans are the first people to create concrete. They're the first people to create concrete, and that's how they build a bunch of their buildings. For rent, you're going to study the. Oh no, it's in Rome. It's a circular building. No. Well, it is in Rome, and it is circular, so it's not a terrible answer. The Pantheon! Yes, you're going to study the Pantheon. It's the largest poured concrete. By the way, after the Romans die off in 410, we lose the ability to make concrete. No one knows how to do it until the 1870s. And then some dude figures out how to make it, and the first concrete poured building post-Rome is in St. Augustine, Florida. Isn't that weird as hell? The first one is in St. Augustine, Florida. There you go. Okay. You need to know that the Romans are going to have the Colosseum for gladiator games. If you know this, you don't have to write it down. But you do need to be aware that they do have a circus. Okay, it's the largest circus in the world. It would have been bomb. It was crazy. Their circus is right next to the Colosseum. They had legit lions and lemurs and all this stuff just going everywhere. And people got eaten there all the time. Like an interactive zoo, if you will. It's insane. Okay. I do not think anyone is surprised that it's a patriarchal society. You shouldn't have to write it down because it seems incredibly redundant at the moment. You should not be surprised that women cannot inherit property. You do need to know that it is polytheistic religion. Okay? Now, where do they get their gods from? The Greeks. They take the gods from the Greeks and they rename them. You need to know that. Okay? So, they take their gods from the Greeks and they are going to rename them. So, what's the name of Zeus under the Romans? Jupiter. Yeah, I'm not so great at the Romans. Yeah, Jupiter. I just leave that. Alright, here we go. Christianity should be your heading, skip space. So, Jesus is wandering around during Roman times. Jesus is killed. I'm so sorry if this is a spoiler. Jesus gets murdered. He gets hung on a crucifix. I don't know if you've heard. But he gets killed by the Romans. Okay, you need to know Jesus of Nazareth. You are not allowed to write Jesus. And you are definitely not allowed to write Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is a religious connotation. Can we agree? Jesus of Nazareth is a historical figure. That is why we are studying Jesus in a public school, is because he's a very much so a historical figure. Just like we're going to study Muhammad, just like we're going to study a bunch of other people who have religious things. Okay, you need to know he's Jewish. Jesus died a Jew. He was born a Jew, died a Jew. You need to understand it. He was not a Christian when he died. Okay? You need to know that the Romans are going to kill him for inciting riots. That's what he died for. Okay? So, it is important that you understand the Romans used their polytheistic religion to create a unified culture. Okay? So, the Romans threw massive parties at their expense in celebration of the gods, so people would come and eat and drink and be like, oh man, I love the government. Look, they filled my belly and they got me drunk. Perfect. I won't rebel this week. Okay? Jesus of Nazareth comes around and says, there's only one God. You know, we shouldn't be honoring these gods. There's only one God. So what is he telling people not to do? He's telling them not to go to these polytheistic celebrations, these big parties the Romans are throwing. Okay? Does that go against the culture creation that the Romans are trying to do? That's why Jesus gets murdered. Okay? That's why Jesus gets killed. You need to understand that Jesus is telling people not to attend polytheistic Roman events. And that is why he's enemy of the Roman government. Okay? That's why. Jesus kept walking around and saying there's only one true God. Remember, Judaism is monotheistic. They believe in only one true God. He's going around, well, you can't go to these parties and have one true God. You can't do it. You can't be going to these things. And the Romans are like, no, everyone needs to go. This is like how we become like, yeah, culture. And they're like, no, you can't go. That. His early life is in the New Testament. So him wandering around is the New Testament. What is the name of the holy book of Christianity, people? The Bible. Okay, you need to know the Old Testament. Okay, there's a New Testament, an Old Testament, the Bible. The Old Testament is the Torah. The Old Testament is the Torah. What is the Torah? Who can tell me what Torah is? What is Torah, Reagan? It's the Jewish holy book. The Jewish holy book and the New Old Testament are the exact same. They have a couple extra additions. We kind of, streamlined it because we had a bunch of other books, So, the Torah is the Old Testament. The New Testament is about Jesus, okay? Now, you need to hear this very clearly. Jesus, born a Jew, dies a Jew. He did not start Christianity. He was just being Jesus. Doing Jesus things, washing people's feet. That was kind of his thing. It really was one of his things. Like the Pope is now into washing the feet because he's trying to be more like Jesus. And he goes to anyway, I'm getting off topic. Getting back on topic because I'm teaching Romana today. Skip a space. You need to know the name of Paul of Czars. St. Paul, have we heard of him? That's him, but we don't call him St. Paul because we're in history and we're studying him academically. So Paul of Czars. Paul of Czars starts Christianity. He starts it. Jesus did not. Jesus just went living his life. Paul of Czars is like, damn, we should do something with this. So he goes around and starts telling people about this guy named Jesus and the miracles Jesus apparently did with the wine and the loaves of bread and the fish and all this crap. So he goes around and starts talking about Jesus and creates this idea of Christianity. You need to know that early Christianity, okay, women played a major role in it. Women and poor people were the first converts to Christianity. Women and poor people were the first converts to Christianity. Why are women and poor people the first converts? Why do you think, Sophia?
Because they said old people.
Yes! Sophia, look at you. Hell yes, girl. Yes, Christianity preaches the idea that all people are equal in front of God, right? Okay, so early on in Christianity, women are held in super high regard. Lady Magdalene, yes, she used to lead major religious movements. Okay, however, how much role of women are there in the Catholic Church? I didn't see, I'm a Catholic, not a good one, as you've heard from my inability to recall Christian things. I've never seen a female preach from like the front of a church before until I was 20. And I saw a chick up there doing her thing, like sermon, like doing the blessing, because my husband is not Episcopalian. No, he's Methodist. Okay? So I went with his family one Christmas Eve, and I went to a Methodist church. It was bomb, because they actually use real good bread in a Methodist church, by the way. Anyone here Catholic? There you go. Those terrible wafers. People eat bread, like real bread. They like rip off like a loaf from like Panera, and that's your communion. What a great idea. Those little wafers, they're terrible. Sorry, not to just ruin your childhood if you haven't figured out those wafers are dreadful. Anyway, moving forward. Okay, what you need to know is that women and poor people are the biggest converts at the beginning, and that's what gives Christianity. Now, are they going to continue this trend? No. The men are going to get more involved, and then they're going to cut the women out. Welcome to Catholicism. I'm going to keep referring back to Catholicism because, A, that's my background. Not a very good one, but a background. And Catholicism is the Catholic Church is the original church of Christianity. We get that, correct? If you're a Methodist, a Baptist, if you call yourself a Christian and not a Catholic, you came around during Martin Luther, which is in the 15 teens. So we're in ancient times. Do you see how there's a long time? So you're based off Martin Luther, so we'll get there. Okay. You need to know, I finished my content. You're welcome. I taught you Rome in like 20 minutes, so that's insanity. I think we need some time to review, though, don't you think? Yes, we do. I don't know if you noticed, but we went really fast. All right, you have covered all of content. So, for Christianity, you do need to know that it's founded by Paul of Tarsus. You need to know that the Holy Book is the Bible. You need to know that women and poor people are the foundation of early Christianity. You do need to know that early Christians are punished, okay, by the Romans. Who can raise their hand and tell me why the Romans hate Christians? Why? Why, Jared? No, it's not that. They don't care if you're not polytheistic. They don't care. What is the problem with them? No. And some of them, like Roman and like Jesus. The guy who killed Jesus felt bad about it a couple days later. What do you got? Huh? Okay, Jesus started riots. He told people to do not go to what people? The parties, the cultural parties. Because it's supposed to bring like culture and bring people together and stuff like that. Imagine, don't you think in 2019, like America should throw a party for each other, for us? And like we should all go and hang out? Because I think we need to like come back together. Don't you think? I think that would be a great idea. And that's what the Romans did. They just threw parties all the damn time so people would like each other. And because, think about it, the Roman Empire encircles all of the Mediterranean Sea. Think about how diverse those populations are, correct? So they wanted to have this like cultural unity behind like these parties. Whether you believed in the religion or not, you were supposed to attend. What are, of course, Christians now not doing? They're not attending. So now they're breaking the law, and so what are the Romans going to do to them? They're going to kill them. They're going to kill. And that's exactly how the whole religion works. All right, here we go, on your whiteboard. Please tell me, what are the 3 aspects of the Roman Empire? What are the 3 aspects of the Roman Empire? I am so proud of myself. I got through Rome real quick. I did. We really moved. Good. What is that? What are the 3, Sterling?
Kingdom, Republic, and Empire.
Perfect. On your whiteboard, please tell me what is the name of the gentleman who is the reason for the transformation from republic to empire? Who causes the transformation from republic to empire? Good. Who is it? Lauren.
Julius Caesar.
Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar is sent to what country to die, but he ends up coming back and overthrowing the emperor. Good. What do you got, Tess? Gaul. On your whiteboard, please tell me, What are the two names of the dude who is going to start the Pax Romana? He's also the first leader post Caesar, Julius Caesar. Good. Who is it, Evan?
Octavius Augustus.
There you go. Those are his two names. On your whiteboard, please tell me. The Roman Empire encircles what body of water? The Roman Empire encircles what body of water? Good. What is it? Madison. On your whiteboard, please tell me what is the name of... Oh, please tell me who are the two teams in the... Oh, shit. What is the name of the... Oh, tell me what the name of the war is between Carthage and Rome. What's the name of the war? Because Oh, I know it now. Damn it. What is it, Emily? Punic Wars. And who wins, Emily?
The
Romans win. Who can raise your hand and tell me what's the outcome of the Punic Wars? What does that secure? What does that secure? Brian. Secures the Mediterranean Sea for the Romans. There you go. On your whiteboard, please tell me what is the name of the polytheistic religion for Persia. Good. What is it, Sophia? Zoroastrianism. On your whiteboard, please tell me what is the name of the two major leaders who follow the policy of tolerance in Persia. What are the two major leaders who follow the policy of tolerance? Good. Sam? Cyrus and Darius. On your whiteboard, please tell me what is... How many bureaucratic divisions are there in Persia? Good. What is it, Joey?
23.
On your whiteboard, please tell me what is the name of... You're in a pretty good spot for tomorrow. 25 questions test tomorrow. You'll have one now pretty much every week, except for writing weeks. So, same type of stems you've seen before, what you're going to see tomorrow. So, anyone questions about what you're going to have tomorrow? Feeling okay? Okay, we finished content, which is pretty exciting because I wasn't sure. Like, I just wasn't sure. So, cool. All right, the bell's about to ring here in a second. Oh, I'm so proud of us. Are you proud?
Yes.
And I'm so glad I recorded.